of people. And so you can kind of sense when people either A, they doubt what it is that you're doing, or B, they don't see the value. So I found myself actually on a call the other day with someone, and I told them, I says, look, I don't totally feel comfortable taking your money. And you can ask me why, and I broke down why. But to kind of sum it up, to answer the question, number one, I know that what I'm teaching has gotten a lot of people results, and number two, I'm confident in it because I practice it every day. Excuse me. And so because I practice what I teach and preach every single day, I feel super confident in delivering, that product or that coaching service or, whatever it is that myself and that high ticket client agree upon. So, excuse me.
Yeah, that was pretty much the question. And the reason why I asked that question is because I want to ask it on my wall. And a lot of times, guys, we like to do, Rosie likes to call it brain training, brain surgery. We like to do these types of things because we understand that the reason why we make the money that we make and the reason why we close the sales that we close is because we have the right mindset. We understand that there's going to be days where we're falling short, or there's going to be days where people are going to say no, and there's going to be days that scale up. Because we have that understanding in our mindset, it makes us able to move the way we do in our business. So I want to ask you today, who struggles with doubt and fear in their business? We'll just put it like that, because because I'm a minister, man, people might start commenting other stuff, doubt and fear. So I'll make sure I had to put business. All right, so let me know who struggles with doubt and fear inside of their business. Now, I believe the more transparent you are with yourself is the faster you can find the solution for yourself. So never be ashamed to, admit that, yo, I struggle with doubt and I struggle with fear. It's hard for me to sell $1,000 or something. She said, I think some of us are on some level. Okay. Matt said, yes, I do. Who else? Again, guys, we got over 80 people on this webinar. If you guys can all chime in. I do. I do. That's one of my biggest problems. I do. Yeah, and acknowledge the work to diminish. Yes, I have battled it at times. Okay, these are all good answers. I love transparency. I used to, but I know I'm helping someone else that disappears. In the beginning, I'm beginning to get over it. I know I have a lot more work to do. That's why I'm here. I used to. Okay, you're perfect, guys. These are great answers. Um, if I can just ask this one last question, I promise you get started. But this question is going through my mind, and so I have to ask it. What is it that makes you doubt? I don't know. I just feel like I have to ask that question. What is it that makes you doubt your business? Is it seeing other people's results? Um, is it just not knowing what to do? Let me know, because that's a good question for me right now. What do you think it is, Jermaine? Why do you think people doubt their self inside of their business?
Well, definitely, past experiences, programming. Maybe they've been scammed before. Maybe their spouse, is doubting them, so it makes them think, can I really make this happen? I mean, I think I could come up with five more answers, but I'll stop there. Yeah. So, those few plus many other reasons.
I think a lot of it, man, for me, it's like kind of like it's very spiritual. I think a lot of people who battle doubt in their business battle doubt in their life as they grew up. Whether they was rejected or they went through some
Right.
sort of abandonment. And a lot of times it comes from people's past. It's that root. It's that stem from when they were younger. And so I guess that's why I felt led to ask that question. What do you think, Rosie? Why do you think people doubt their business?
I think it's fear of rejection.
Okay.
That was mine when I kind of started, and not believing in myself. That was probably the major thing, is not believing in myself.
So a lot of people said, fear of rejection, irrational fear from past. That's right. Sometimes I don't have a clear path to success. Sometimes I think I get lucky. I see others who are in the industry that don't want to pay and claim that I'm charging too much for my services. So I'm trying to find a price point that I'm not working too hard or too little for money. Okay. Multiple reasons. Failed many times before. Not having the right proven method with sponsoring, battling against egos. If I have what it takes,
Okay.
if I can get past my fear. Been at it for a while. Haven't made enough to really change my life. All right, guys. See, now this is what I love, man, because I understand, like, me is this is where the real issue is to you making money online. It's not the technique, it's not the strategy, it's not how you run your ads effectively. This a lot of times we don't understand that this problem inside of us is really what blocks us from going through what we need to get through. And just like me, when I first got online, I failed in multi-level marketing for 4 years, right? And the reason why I failed was because I was scared of how people. I guess I was scared of opinionated people, people's opinions of me, telling me I was a scammer or this and that. And because I was scared of people's opinions, it held me back from what I had to do. And when I got online and I made that phone call with Jermaine, and Jermaine told me, he said, Nate, if you ever want to be successful, you have to not care what people think about you. You have to do what you love and what you feel. And literally that day where I said, yo, forget everybody's opinion about me. I can't live for everybody, was the next day I made $400 in 24 hours. That was the biggest success I've ever had. But for 4 years, I felt like I was blocked because I was scared of how people looked at me or what people would think about me. And so, just like a lot of you guys who's commenting right now, this fear of rejection or this hurt from your past or irrational fear that you have, this is probably your primary issue to why you're not making a lot of money yet. And I feel like if you fix it, you will start to have the success that you're looking for. Um, I know we're going over high ticket,
No, she's working.
and I know we're going over high ticket, so I don't want you guys to think that that's not what we're going to teach. But I just, again, I felt led to teach this, so that's why I'm saying it. But we got a lot of answers. See if there's any more. Welcome out to everybody else that just got on. Patrick Malone, confidence. Feel failure. All right, cool. All right, I'm gonna go on with the presentation, but I felt like no, that was something definitely good that you guys could get out of that. Welcome out to everybody. I'm gonna go over I'm gonna go over a lot of stuff about when it comes to high ticket. One thing I want to get assured though is for these people on this webinar, so it can help me better. Are you here for your own high ticket program or for your company? Because I think there's some people on here from Empower Network, and then I think there's some people on here from Moby and whatnot. So let me know. Are you here more so you can create your own high ticket program? Or are you here to learn how you can close high ticket sales for your company? I'm saying my own without Taylor Moby. Okay, for my own program. Me, both. Rosie, you in Moby? No, just playing. Yeah, for my own, then for my own company and program. My own primarily. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm just going off back. I teach a lot of high ticket programs of doing your own thing. But yes, you can use these methods to close your products for your company. Again, I'm not against nobody's company, but I'm big on being innovative and creative of your own. I love branding. So just throwing it out there. Okay, my own. Perfect. I think we got a little bit more answers. Then we're good to go. All right, perfect. Perfect, guys. Let's get it rocking then. All right, so today I'm basically going to teach you guys my 7-step methodology to selling high ticket programs, right? How I make high ticket sales over and over and over again. How I'm doing $3,000 to $5,000 a day online. Like today, I'm already over $5,000, and we do these things consistently. And the reason why is because we understand it. So I'm gonna break down my 7-step, literally what I do, how I outline my program, how I close my sales, what strategies I use. So I'm giving all this away for free right now. So if you're taking notes, please just take notes. So we're gonna dig deep. Let's go. Do, do, do. Okay, so one of the first things that come to mind for those who are on here who probably do not know me is one, who is this guy? Secondly, why should you listen to me? My name is Nate Obryant. I've made over 300,000 my first year online, and I've helped many others duplicate and create a $10,000 a month income. And here's just a little bit of proof for those who probably want to know, is it real? Is it really producing the results? Here's one of the days I had. It was $2,900 generated in less than 2 hours online. Um, just from doing a little plugins. This invoice was about $1,500, and then that one was $500, and then you see payments from Teespring, Square, and everything else. Um, Here goes another one for another $1,000 commission that came in briefly, real fast, January 23rd on 440. Here goes another one that just happened recently, 3 o'clock in the morning, $2,500 straight to my PayPal. And then here goes another day, $4,000 that happened just last month on the 16th. Now I don't want to go through proof shots every single day. And then here goes another one from a person who works for me. It says, "Hey, I got my first coaching job." I said, "Hey," she said, "just like you said." I said, "How much?" She said, $1,000. And I think the conversation went on, and I said, "Did you doubt me?" And she said, "No, why would I doubt what you teach?" And so here goes another one that just happened, $2,000 on the 5th of February. So we understand with all this that obviously high ticket sales, it have been done, it has been mastered. So this is for the people who's never knew me or followed me. I normally don't love to show proof like this, but I did because there's a lot of people on here. We ran traffic and ads to this webinar. And so I wanted to show you guys this is what we're doing on a consistently basis. And we're averaging anywhere between 3 to 5 high ticket sales a week. All right, so I want to talk about what you guys are going to get on this webinar. In this segment, you're going to learn 3 things. That is, one, what is a high ticket product? 2, you're going to learn how to create your own high ticket product. 3, you're going to learn how to sell your own product. It is something that's very fluent with selling. It has made me tons of money. Today, you're going to be learning my 7-step equation on how I personally make 5 to 7K sales with 1 commission continually on a daily basis. So let's get ready to rock. What is a high ticket product? For those who are new on here and you probably don't understand what a high ticket product is, and you're probably thinking, well, is it just something that's $10 or $15? We're talking something that's more of $1,000 and up. So a high ticket product is any product, whether tangible or not, that is valuable to the consumer, ranging in the prices of $5,000 or more. You may be more familiar with high ticket consulting, coaching, and done for you services, which we'll go more into. The product has to be something that's valuable, priced as so. So one of the main questions that I get a lot of times is, well, how do I create a service that's high ticket? Step 1 to my methodology is finding the target of the issue. The first step to set up your own high ticket product is figuring out what your high ticket product contains. A lot of times you have people who online who come on here into this marketing space, and they say they want to help people make money, and they say they want to be able to create their own thing. But here's the problem. You can only create something that has a demand to it. If you create a product that does not have a demand to it, what's going to take place is you're going to have a product that's not going to even have a target market, because no one's going to want what you have. So I love to tell people, when you're trying to create your own program, have at least an outline of what do you want to teach. It's whether you want to teach how to create proper sales funnels, how to drive traffic from 5 different social media sites, how to do PPC, how to do CPA, how to build your own freebie offer system. Whatever it is, have an idea of what you want to do. Because you have a lot of people who just say, well, I just want to create a $3,000 program, but they don't even know what they want to teach inside of it. They just know that having a $3,000 program sounds good. So your number one thing is you want to make sure there's a target market for your product. Number 2, you want to make sure that there's an actual issue in that target that you can give a solution to, somewhere that you can provide an answer to, which I go into the second part is you do this by mapping out your ideal prospect. Map out everything about them, the age range, the male, the female, how much they're making, what they do, etc. My average customer is from the age of 30 to 60. And the reason why is because I like to work with people who failed in multi-level marketing or online marketing already. I'm not really a target marketer for newbies. I change where I make my target to, and it's because I love to help people who failed. And the reason why I love to help people who failed is because I failed for years. And so when you're making your target market, make sure it's somebody who you can connect to that makes sense. So actually writing down the age range of who your target market is going to help you from not getting detoured from your vision. I know my average customer is 30 years old. They failed in online marketing. They're making anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000 a year already in their current job. right? So take the time out, create that for yourself. So one, create the target market. Who are you looking for? Who are you trying to supply a solution to? What kind of demand is there? Then two, what does your prospect even look like? Because there's probably a lot of people that's on this webinar right now who make a post every single day and just hopes that somebody bites. You don't really have no actual routine. You don't have nothing that's super targeted that can gain your focus on getting results, right? Then last thing is then you want to look for the worst problem that seems to be bugging your prospects. Again, a lot of multi-level marketing people who failed inside of the business, one of the biggest issues for them is that they didn't learn fast enough. Or one of the second issues that I always hear a lot is that there was a lot of technicality things that they missed out on that they didn't understand, which made them fail. So I already know what my problem is when I'm pitching. And if you can actually adapt to what the problem is, when you're talking to people and you're talking to prospects, it will flow out of your mouth. And what will happen is they will have complete understanding that you have the solution to why they messed up. I hope this is making sense. We're going to go on more. Research and listen to what people tell you and see how you can be the solution. Now, if I'm doing something for multi-level marketing and I'm talking to Vima reps, I will literally take 7 days out of the week. I'll take that whole first week and I will spend my time networking, talking to people who's in Vima and finding the mid-range of the issues that they have inside of that company. One could probably be we don't know how to sell these energy drinks online. Two, we lack in advertisement. Three, we lack in this. Take that whole aspect of issues and then learn how you can create a solution for that, and then you have your program. Usually the issue is not hard to find with a little communication. Ask the right questions. For example, sometimes I come across people that will not try to sell at all until I figure out what their issue is. The reason I do this is because it allows me to meet the prospects where they are. Two, people buy when they know something is beneficial for them. You can't just jump off back saying, hey, buy my blog, $3,000. That's not beneficial to them. One, they don't know what the blog is for. Two, they don't understand why they need a blog. Three, they can get a free blog. What are they going to get for $3,000 out of your blog that makes yours so special? What are you providing to them that's going to make them say, okay, take my credit card, even though it's $3,000, I need that blog from you opposed to that $25 blog from somebody else. So you want to make sure what you're actually offering people is beneficial to them in the long run and short term. When selling a high-ticket product, your prospects need to know they are in good hands and feel confident enough to pay the amount that you're asking for. Having faith that you will deliver, you have to know all about their businesses so that you know they're making a safe investment. I shared this yesterday on a coaching call, and one of the things that I was learning from Frank Kern's team when we talked the first time was he said many people want people to get caught in their funnel. But he said the reality is not letting people get caught in your funnel. The reality is letting people get caught in your name, letting people get caught in your brand. The more you let people get caught in your brand, the more loyal that a person will be. And I'm going to use this analogy because it's true facts, is that Michael Jordan, his shoes come out every goddamn weekend, right? And everybody can have 100 pair. But because people are caught up in the brand, people will continually buy that shoe every weekend, no matter what price it is, because they're loyal to the brand. It's the same way with your business. When you over deliver and you give so much back to the community and you help people out so much, people will remain loyal to your products. They give me a hint. They said, Nate, there's people in Frank Kern's funnel who's probably paid him over $60,000 total in products. And he said, and it's because they're loyal to his brand, because his brand is loyal to them. So that's a big hint, guys. Make sure your brand is loyal to people as well as they're loyal to your brand. So step 2, we're going to go more into the creating a solution. Create either a service or a product that talks about what you should do to solve the problem. Now, these solutions can involve webinars, ebooks, auto CDs, DVDs, or done-for-you services. A lot of times when people are coming into my high-ticket program, they're getting a 9-week coaching program. In that 9 weeks, we're going to get on Skype, whether we're going to get on there 9 to 12 times. We're going to break down why their business isn't flowing the way it's flowing. We're going to create them a marketing blueprint, and then they're going to get access to all my trainings as well as a bonus. So we'll go more into that in detail. After you figure out what your product is, you then create a name that will be attractive enough to target your prospects. Throw in an offer and a bonus that will make the deal sweeter, and then the concept is now created. So the rule of thumb is to whenever doing a high ticket program, you always want to offer bonuses. if you go on JVZoo and you see a lot of these sales pages, you see a lot of these products, there's always like 5 to 10 different bonuses you're going to get for taking action. What does a bonus do? Well, psychology on someone's mind, what happens is when they feel like, okay, for $1,000, I'm getting 6 more trainings that's worth $1,000 each. They're calculating in their mind, okay, that's $7,000. I'm getting for $1,000. It makes people feel like they're getting over on the product. And so one of the biggest things is making people excited and comfortable with what you're bringing to the table so that people will say yes. And so if you're offering high ticket right now inside your business and you're not offering no bonuses right now, right, that excels the product costs, right? Because the product cost can be $299 or $2,000 and for $3,000, but in bonuses you have $9,000 for free. That makes sure that your bonuses excel your product costs, because now they're going to feel like they just got over on you and it was a big discount on a Christmas day. So that's another thing. Make sure you add those things to your products, to your programs inside of your high ticket sales. Step 3. Now we're going to start digging a little bit more deeper. We're going to go into a little bit of lead generation. Now you want to set up all your tech stuff such as a landing page, capture pages, and then you want to set up basically a full funnel, whatever you use to make sure that it's a high converting system. Now, if you were taking notes, this is how Nate does it. I do a lot of free webinars and I give a lot of value on those webinars. I take that webinar and I'm going to do it with this webinar. I'll take this webinar and I'll create an ad on Facebook and I'll target my specific niches that I target. And I'll say, learn how to master high ticket marketing for free. Click here. So when they click here, it's going to go to a capture page. Nate Obryant, learn how Nate Obryant is making $2,000 to $5,000 a day with high ticket sales. Opt in here. Get your free training. They're going to opt into my funnel. They're going to put their name. They're going to put their email. Once they go there, my AWeber is automatically going to send this replay right here to them. Secondly, it's going to take them to my next page. My next page is going to be a sales page of one, catching them at my middle sale. My middle sale will probably be my school, IMA University, which is $100. But from there, the main concept is to get them to my high ticket program. But once they have my training, I'm already catching them in my funnel. Does that make sense? So the techie stuff is the part that comes in next. Your landing page, to your capture pages, to your sales pages, to having a high converted system. So some people, I would suggest that you go from free to 100 to 1,000 to 497 to 297. I would follow that formula from free to 100 to 997 to 497 to 297. Either way, you're going to catch them in some type of sales point. And then that's when you learn how to segment your leads onto different lists and you know who has what and who doesn't have what. Again, that's more techie stuff. So at this point, a funnel is always best that you go to equip it with an autoresponder, create a list, and mail them for future purposes. Again, the average statistics say the average lead is worth $20,000 at least. Also, you want to have a sales page that describes every last bit of your content so that way it's understandable and leaves your audience wanting more. Your sales page has to speak volumes to people. You cannot have a sales page that just says click the link below, pay $1,000. Your sales page has to sound exciting. It has to sound like a lot is about to take place right now. And so the reason why it does that is because you have to understand that people eat with their eyes. It's just like you when you go to a restaurant. You're not looking what the food says. You're more so looking at the picture. And what looks good to you is what you typically buy. It's the same thing with your product. If your product looks amazing when I get on that sales page, if it just looks like this is a no-brainer, I'm going to take immediate action. I'm going to pull my credit card out and I'm going to buy it. Why? Because you fed me before I even got your product, if that makes sense for some of you. You got to make people excited before they even touch your product. And so if you can make people excited when they do get your product, it's already an expectation that's already met because they're overly excited because of the way they saw it. Now, in that case, I know some of you guys probably ate in restaurants and something looked good and it came, it didn't look the way it looked and you was disappointed. But that's the reason why in your product, you want to make sure you over deliver. Let me see. I just want to lie. Let me make sure everybody's getting value from this or not. I think last time we had one person who didn't, so we'll make sure. Chime in below real quick. Are you getting value from this? Let me know. Who's getting value from this training right now? from the first 3 steps that we went to into creating your high ticket program. Let me know. Let me know. We are up to 93 people on this webinar. Okay, we got a lot of people chiming in. Let's see what everybody else is saying. Let me I'm gonna go on. Jermaine, what do you think?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Is the question, am I getting value?
I said, yeah. You think this is value?
Man, I'm soaking it up, brother. I'm looking at your steps and I'm soaking it up, and these are definitely all things that even if, wherever anybody's at in their business, that they should understand. Whether they're just getting started or they're making 10, $20,000 a month. I know a lot of times I speak to people and they're making $20,000 a month and they're just little things like, do you have a blog? They're like, no. Or do you know Fiverr? Do you have Fiverr? Whatever. They don't even know about it. And so I guess the point is, these are things that people should know at whatever point they're at in their business. So at least if they're not there yet, they can look, forward to that in the future. But bro, it's amazing.
Good looking out.
I love it, man. Killer stuff.
All right, so we're gonna go on, man. We got a couple more steps, and then we'll get out of your hairs, guys. Like I said, there's over 90 something people on this webinar. All right, so we went over lead generation. We went from having a landing page to going into our funnel. Again, even after your landing page, guys, if you want to put in like a $7, no more than a $12 tripwire, you can. Tripwires are cool. If you have a $10 membership site, those are great. Put those in there. But the key thing is to get people in from the beginning, but to get them all the way through your actual products. What I do is if you have some cool training that you've done on the side that you normally charge for 100 or that you normally charge for 300, I will put those things in my funnel and I will put a pop-up that says special price today, $39.99, $40. So that way, if someone's on your funnel for 5 to 7 minutes, they're like, dude, I tried to exit out of this thing and I couldn't get out. I remember I had a guy, he was like, Nate, I was inside your funnel for like 15 minutes. I was getting sold. If I didn't buy your Craigslist training, I got offered your school. If I didn't buy your school, I got offered your Facebook training. If I didn't buy your Facebook training, I got offered your Bing training. I got offered this. He said, dude, I was in your funnel for like 10 minutes. He said, eventually I just freaking bought everything. And I started laughing. And I was like, oh man, thanks. Anyways, but the key thing was because he was actually inside my funnel, the more these things were presented to his face, the more he thought about buying. And so the whole thing is once you catch someone into your funnel, every time they're exiting out an offer, you want to have a pop-up or you want to give them another offer, something that's lower. You want to downsell or you may want to go back upsell. But the key thing is keep people interested in what you're doing. Step 4. Find out where you're going to get your leads from. Whether you're going to drive traffic on Facebook, Craigslist, for example, Bing PPC, Google AdWords. If you're going to do solo ads, I don't suggest them. But whatever the case is, you got to find out where's your traffic going to come from. Then once you find out where, you want to find out how you attract them. Are you going to do it with the ads? Are you going to have the cool little pictures where you're pointing somewhere or you're doing something and you're attracting these people, right? Are you going to do video marketing and email marketing? One of the newest things that I've been doing, guys, and I'll share this on here, is I've been doing blog posts where I have someone, amazing person, who blogs for me. She's wonderful. Shouts out to Carla. She did a blog for me on the three steps I did to basically get to 6 figures. And she created this whole blog content, and I drove traffic to this blog content, right? And with that blog, it attracted people who's not necessarily in my circle right now, but who are now. And they read the article and they thought it was phenomenal. They researched me, they looked me up. They came to me today and literally was like, hey, Nate, I really want to get rocking with your coaching program. Can I get started basically in the next 2 days? And we closed the deal for $5,000. So for those who have the ability to blog or those who know how to outsource blogging, I would suggest that you start blogging on certain articles that people can increase, how to increase your social media following for real estate investors, how to get authors to get their books, how to become a #1 bestseller, and create those blogs and run ads to those types of people and get those type of people caught up in your imagery so that you can now sell them again. I got a couple of blogs that's going to be going out soon about real estate agents, how authors become #1 bestsellers, because I understand that these marketing tactics that we have and that we know, they're available to any source. But a lot of times we keep our trainings only for internet marketers and for the IM niche. And you have to be assured and know that what you know is so powerful that you can literally teach all these other kind of people who need your help in internet marketing. So that's just a big tip. Blogging is essential right now, especially driving traffic and getting leads. So market to your ideal prospect. You created in step one. Step one, remember, the target, the issue. So market the ideal issue to your prospects. Where someone has a problem and they're looking for an answer, it's time to use all your marketing skills to get it out there. Now, I'm going to go into exactly how we set it up when we do these types of, I guess I would say these types of funnels. A lot of times, one of the biggest things that you can do inside of your business is get people to a webinar. Get people on a webinar like this, over 90 something people on here. Get people where they can all be presented and see and be attentive. Remember, everyone that's on this webinar, we promote the webinar as who needs help selling high ticket items, who needs help making high ticket sales. So you're here because of an issue, right? This webinar is to provide a solution. So it's the same thing that I'm teaching you is the same thing that I did. So what we typically do is when you set up your high ticket program and you're driving your traffic and you're getting people in, you want to bring them through a high anticipated application process. And by taking your prospect to that application process, you're going to be able to go in depth with their specific problem rather than the general issue found in step one. It allows you to build a relationship. It allows you to build trust that you're going to need to get the job done, right? In an application, it allows people to open up a little bit more to what their problem is. It allows people to show you what their real struggles is. And one of the best things about an application is it allows people to tell you how much they can invest. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people on this webinar who's probably sold training to somebody for $47 or $100, and then that person a week later, 2 weeks later, went and spent $2,000 or $3,000 with somebody else. And you're like, yo, if I would have knew that, I would have sold it. I would have sold that for $2,000 on my training for $2,000 to them. And so when you actually create applications, you actually learn more about the person, but secondly, you know what to offer a person. If you're a person on this webinar who has 5 different trainings in a coaching program, you know which one fits that person best. So you have them answer yet more questions. Your question should address their issue and ask what to expect and look to assure them for their benefit. Everything needs to be about the customer. Everything needs to be about what does that customer need? What can change that customer's life? Everything does not have to be about you. You are already, if they're talking to you already, that means the bait already worked. Whether it was your lifestyle marketing or your law of attraction or whether it was your picture, whatever it was, they already bit, right? So when they come close, it's no longer about what you've done. It's about what you can do for that person. Does that make sense? So they fill out their application. They tell you everything that's going on in their life. They tell you everything that's going on inside of their business. They tell you everything that they need, right? And they tell you, I have $5,000 to invest. What do? You master phone selling. Master phone selling or you master Skype selling. You do either A or B, right? You never want to just try to close such a high ticket sale over the chat. I've done it before, but I don't always suggest it. And so I have a whole sales team, a whole phone team, but I'm going to teach you my 3-point closing strategy that I use. One is identify pain, leverage community, provide opportunity. And I use this over and over again. But secondly, my team uses this over and over again, which is why they close so many sales over the phone. Now, Jermaine has been, with me in person. He's seen me close people using the same strategy. And so this is how it goes for those taking notes. Identify their pain. You want to see where they failed at before, what troubles them about this area. Make it more personal. Notice how every step lets you closer to the client. The more open your client becomes, the more the client starts to trust you. The more the client starts to trust you, the more the client will pay you, because the client knows you're there for their best interest. You're not there to manipulate. You're not there to lie. You're there to help people. But sometimes you have to allow people to open up and show you what the true problem is so that you can evaluate and that you can help them properly. This is to build trust in relationships, not to manipulate, but to try to help, because you can never truly help unless you know what you're dealing with. I can't sell you a $3,000 product and try to teach you Facebook ads, but know that you have a belief problem, because no matter what the ad does, you're not even going to believe it's going to work. So sometimes you have to perform that surgery. And when it's high ticket, guys, you should take the time out and work with your students and see what the issues are. Connect with their pain. Show them that they're not alone. This is where empathy will come into play. All my students will tell you, I take the time out and I try to connect with them on a different level. Because one, I'm a prayer warrior, but for two, I want to make sure they understand that outside of these strategies, there's more that's going to take place. So my first part of my conversation, I'm going to be talking about the issues of they're dealing with. So I'm going to talk about the problems. It's probably because you don't know how to use Facebook ads, or you probably don't know how to run effective traffic. And what's going on is you don't have no type of leads flowing. So you're waking up every single day hoping that someone buys a sale, when in this program, we're going to teach you how to use ads, and we're going to teach you how to run effective marketing, even on being to offline people out of country. So one, I identified their pain. Two, just like my friend Mark, who came into my program, Mark didn't understand either. He had trouble with leads. And Mark, the issue was he didn't know where to get leads from. But once he got into our program, Mark started getting a lot of leads, and now Mark is making so and so money. What I do is I provide the problem. The second step is I leverage somebody, either my student or somebody in my community that had the same issue they have but got results. Because you have to understand, being the person behind the phone is, one, you're telling me my problem, which is making me probably, one, A, feel like, dang, you're right, or like, dang, feel like crap. But two, you're telling me somebody was in my situation already, but they changed their life because they got into this program. And so it automatically feels like, oh, snaps, maybe it is possible. You give people that hope right there. Leverage the community of networks you have. Leverage who you are connected to, mentors, business friends. Show them that you want to be a part of your community, because you're at their best interest. Building a successful community will keep your business at a great advantage no matter the direction you go. Last part, provide the opportunity. So the first part of my phone conversation, I talked about his issues. I talked about his problems. The second part, I talked about how Mark was in the same situation. Now how Mark changed his life. 3, I tell them, but you can get in the same situation that Mark did. You can get in the same shoes that Mark did. This is the opportunity that's at hand. Looking at your application, right now you have $5,000 to invest. And this is what can take place for you. You got to understand that 3-point series to a phone call will close 94% of your sales, like it does mine. 94% of sales I get on the phone with, I close because I use that same strategy. And what it does is it allows people to, one, feel low, feel middle, get excited. People never like to feel left out, right? People never like to feel like they missed out on something. Last but not least, provide the opportunity. I think I read this part, right? With this, you want a call to action, not pressuring them. Make sure they see the advantages of the opportunity of themselves. This opportunity is much more than just a product, but the opportunity to work with you and be connected to a winning team. You have to know everyone on this webinar right now that's attentive, that's watching. You have to know that you're a winner. You have to know that you're great. You have to know that there's greatness inside of you. You may not be making a lot of money right now, but you have to know that you're a beast on the inside. And if anybody spends any kind of money with you, you have to know that they're on a winning team. No matter if you're not killing it every day. You just have to be assured and know that's just who you are. When you wake up every single day with confidence, you have to know that you're great. Step 7, the follow-up. Just like any business, you want to follow up with your prospects. They lack the art of following up. 90% of marketers will miss out on a sale due to not following up. It's always important to create a buying list and establish marketing lists to follow up with those. You may follow up with email lists, phone calls, or social media messaging. A lot of times, guys, I have my staff, they will call people back. Hey, you missed out. We can get you in today. Secondly, I email them. And what I email them is, a lot of my students are making money every single day. I just had a student yesterday, we talked, In less than 3 to 4 hours, she made $800 from what I taught her. She was like, "Yo, I just did a tiny bit of what you taught me, and I made $800." And so stories like that, I mail that same list that got the opportunity. Why do I do that? Because the moment momentum picks up is the moment people start to think they're missing out. You have to think about what excites you. What makes you pull out your credit card? What makes you buy? It's the same way with your business. People don't like to feel left out. So always create that follow up inside of your business, right? Please create that follow up inside your business, because some of you guys right now probably got people who owe you money or say they're going to join you. And because you never followed up, they never joined you. And so follow up with emails, phone calls, and social media messaging. Again, this is where your autoresponder comes into play. You want to make sure your opportunity stays inside of their face without looking thirsty or needy. Allow your marketing to do the work for you. One of the best things is that you can send emails on autopilot. And then if you're smart and you know how to run ads like we do, you retarget letting them know that time is almost out. You give them a 24-hour window. You take those people, you put a retargeting ad up, and you put a picture of you and say you only have 24 hours left. You better take action. 3 spots left. Those ads follow them around Facebook all day long. You're going to have a closing rate like crazy. And this is my 7-step methodology to how I close high ticket sales over and over again, right? All right, so if you found this information to be useful and value, and you want to get to $10,000, $20,000 a month, then this is what I want you to do while you're on this webinar. I want you to take action, right? I want you to go to natobrand.com, and I want you to fill out that application, work with me. Today, I'm going to let 5 people in for a crazy amount discount, and I'm going to teach you how to set up this whole program, how to walk through all this, and I'm going to get on some webinars with you, and we're going to target more to internet marketers, and you're going to learn how to make high ticket sales. So while you're doing that, I want to ask a question. Who got a breakthrough from this webinar? Again, guys, there's over 90-something people on this webinar. Chime in below. Let me know. We'll let everybody chime in. Thanks to everybody that came out. Man, it's packed out on here. Around 25 and counting. All right, guys, this was a lot of information. I definitely wanted to make sure I over-delivered and exceeded your guys' expectation of what you have. I'm really looking to work with 5 more people. So if you want to get to $10,000 to $20,000 a month, I think Rosie's getting ready to have her first $20,000 a month this month. She's well over what she normally does. She's crushing it this year. I want you to go to natobrand.com and literally fill out that application that says work with me. I'll show you right here. If my internet's not acting up. All right, so you want to click here on Work With Me tab, fill out this application. For everybody who gets into my program today, you're going to get all of my trainings for free. Every training, you're going to get access to my full school for a whole year, and you're going to get everything for free for everybody that gets in my training today. And those people, I'm going to get on a special webinar with you, and I'm going to help you sell and make your first commissions. Because, guys, there's more than just the marketplace, right? There's more than internet marketers. There's a lot of people who need your services. So I want to teach you guys the powerful way. Go to natobrand.com, fill out your Work With Me app, get in as soon as possible, really for only 5 people. I'm going to work with specially, and then I'm going to give you all of those bonuses, all of my trainings that's helped people make a lot of money. I mean, I can bring Rosie out to testify. She's worked with me long enough. Rosie, I think she disappeared. Rosie, is that her? Or is that a different Rosie? It's two of them. Or Jermaine. Yo, Jay, can you hear me?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Okay, what was that you said? I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Which I was telling the people to take action to get their applications in so they can work with me. Well, I was gonna say,
Oh,
what you think about the webinar, man, overall?
man, it was killer. My thing is, the good thing when you have such a high skill set like yourself, Nate, and you know that you're giving the amount of value that you're giving, it's just, it's all a matter of time with who's going to decide to make that choice and decision to work directly with Nate so he can show you guys exactly, what he's doing. But as far as the value, man, it's amazing, And I remember getting on webinars, back in the day when I didn't really know what I was doing, and a lot of this stuff would seem kind of, out there. And I will tell you that, Nate's got systems in place, literally plans of action, and things of that nature to get you into profits, very quickly. So for me, I was really cheap. Back in the day, I didn't want to, spend any kind of money, so I was tight with my pockets, and I wouldn't spend the money on the training. But I think more importantly than the money wise, like you always say, don't think of the money as an investment. Think of it as a ticket to your destination. So I would just say for anybody watching this video today, right now, that might have struggled in the past, that might be upset with themselves or discouraged or whatever the case may be, switch that, flick that switch, excuse me, and just make the decision, make the commitment, because I know I did, and I can't tell you exactly at what point in what webinar it was where everything just started to kind of, upturn. But I would, really, I know hate's a strong word, but I would really hate to see people not make the choice to go ahead and work with you, and then this be the time where they actually had that breakthrough in their business. So I would say just, typically I'd say pull out your credit card, but at this point you don't need one. Go to nateobryan.com, fill out the application, and make that decision.
Thanks, Jay.
Amazing value.
Thanks, bro.
Yes, sir.
Let me I think we'll bring out Yasa. You've been around for a minute. You got a mic? Ali Yasa.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man. What'd you think about the webinar?
No, it's right on point, man. Because and the reason I jumped on is because I was looking at bringing my coaching back. I did some coaching a while back in the offline world where I worked with small business owners, and I put it aside to focus strictly on building my team and MLM and stuff like that. And I was looking to bring it back, and it's funny, man, because for me, my mental block was getting back to those high tickets sales. I hadn't done it in such a long time, and I started questioning whether I could do it and get back to that again. Closing, 12,000, $12,000 yearly commitments and stuff like that from clients, and that's the main reason I got on this. I remember when you guys were launching the 5K consultant, I was like, yo, Jermaine, when's that launching? Because I know I wanted to get back to that. So I have tons of value, man. I got a page of notes here. I definitely like the part where you said, people have to be caught up in your name and caught up in your brand, caught up in your particular service versus, quote unquote, a company. That stuck out to me the most, man. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate you, man. Let me bring out Rosie. She wants me to unmute her. Then I'll bring out Cindy Bloom. Go ahead, Rosie. Rosie, you're not muted. Rosie, I think your microphone's messed up. Is that you? Hold on. Rosie. Rosie.
Oh, hello?
Yeah, there's two of you on here.
Yo. Oh, that was my iPad that you're probably unmuting then.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so yeah, I've been working with Nate Obryant since April. And there were some trainings that I got from him, One in particular was doing my own webinars and stuff like that. And at the time, I wasn't really. That's when that whole doubt came into mind, the fear of rejection. The first webinar I ever had was back in April, and I only had like 2 people on it. One of them was my sponsor in ILN, and the other person was one of my team people. So imagine if I stopped then, imagine if I let all that fear or whatever stop me from doing what I'm doing now, I wouldn't have been as successful as I am today. So what I want to instill in everybody and hope that you guys just don't give up, keep on going. Even if you have 2 people showing up, make sure you give the best presentation you possibly can, even if there is only 2 people on. And that's something I learned from Nate, is just to, keep pushing and, just keep going, don't stop. So if you guys didn't fill out the application, definitely do that. You're gonna want to learn from Nate. I did. And I know a lot of people know me on this webinar. If you don't know me, go ahead and feel free to add me. But yeah, I was struggling, and I'm doing really good right now. So definitely sign up for the application, get in his trainings. He's really good. He's a real deal. Obviously, you guys see that. So Nate, back to you.
You're a beast. I'm gonna bring out Cindy, then we're out of here. Blooming Marketing. Where'd she go? Cindy.
Yo, Nate, are you making some noise?
What's going on, Cindy?
What a incredible webinar. I'm so glad that I was able to be on it. I mean, such value, and I think that so many of the things that you said, if people took notes, there were so many little nuggets within this presentation that I wrote them all down, of course, because I believe in always learning. I believe that you can never know too much, and that you should surround yourself with people who have what you want, who are in a position where you want to be, and that's you, Nate. And so we've known each other now for several years. Every time that you and I have a conversation, I always have a breakthrough. I always have a new direction. And today, in this webinar, so many of the things that you said are so true, and that I would think that anybody on this webinar would be absolutely nuts to not fill out the application, because you need a mentor in this business, and you need one who is really going to be there for you. And Nate, Jermaine, I have been with these guys for several years now, and the amount of caring and genuine interest they have in seeing you succeed is more than apparent. And so I got to thank you guys, from the bottom of my heart, for everything you do and for all the value you are constantly bringing. I wouldn't have some of my larger sales without staying connected, and whether that be because we were connected because there was a mindset issue, or just for you guys to push me and continue to believe in me. I had my Facebook account shut down twice, and I was at the top of my game with over 5,000 friends and 2,000 followers, and at that point when I wanted to stop, or kind of got frustrated, to be able to surround yourself with people like Nate and Jermaine to reinstall that vision that you have, that belief in yourself is key. So thank you, Nate, for always bringing value and always making noise and always being there for me and so many other people.
No problem. Cindy's a beast. All right, guys, I just wanted to bring other people out, because sometimes it's better for other people to talk instead of me about myself. I don't want to be tooting my own horn in that sense. So if you know me, I'm really just down to earth. I love to help, love ministry, and that's just who I am. So yeah, man, go to nateobryan.com. We got like 10 apps in already. I just checked my email. Fill out your application. I'm going to be getting people in today. Just write down the best you can do today. If it's 1,000, if it's 5,000, anywhere between those two, the best you can do. Let's get you locked in today. Let's get you, one, let's get you crushing your business. 2, let's get you following the business model that you always wanted. And 3, following your vision. Get your